Good morning, students. Once again, we have come here to give you some tips about the macroeconomics part. In the earlier video, we have given about microeconomics, how the marks distribution is done this year, this academic year, how it is done. That is microeconomics 85 marks, macroeconomics also 84. Go into this, that is macroeconomics also has got the 85 marks weightage. So first lesson is 6 marks, second lesson 24 marks. National income accounting, you should be very giving importance to this lesson. And the third lesson is 13 marks, and chapter 4 10 marks, chapter 5 again 10 marks, but chapter 6 if you take it is 22 marks. So dear students, here two lessons, that is chapter 2 and chapter 6 have got maximum weightage, right? So you have to prepare. And next, if you go to the first lesson, how the marks are distributed into 1 or 2 marks, 4 marks, like that. See, we have got 1 mark questions 2 and 4 marks question 1. Totally you have got 6 marks questions here. And most important, dear students, you are lucky that only 3 are there. Only 3 questions, but 1 will come. So difference between micro and macro. Working of capitalistic country. See, in the microeconomics, you have learned about market economy, same, how it works, just you write here. And the role of government and household sector. There are 4 sectors, learn only 2 sectors, that is households and the government. Rest you leave. Any one will come from these 3 topics, okay? If you go to the next chapter, that is chapter 2, national income accounting. See, of course, as I said earlier, it's very important, and 24 marks will come from this lesson. So how it is distributed, we have got 1 mark questions 2, 2 marks questions 2 again, and dear students, 4 marks questions 3 you will get, right? And 6 marks question 1, and totally 24 marks will come from this lesson, right? According to the blueprint. Then what are the important topics, right? In this lesson, that is 4 marks questions you may get, like concept of final goods, circular flow of income, externalities, and accumulation and decumulation of inventories, that is planned and unplanned, you will get. So I just said no, 3 questions, right? You will get, and you have to learn all the 4, right? Out of 4, 3 will get. Then 6 marks if you take up, we have got the macroeconomic identities. All the 6 macroeconomic identities you have to learn, like GDP, GNP, like that. And we have got methods of measuring GDP. In that, you have to learn more about exponential method with equations you have to learn. And the third is about the numerical example. That means you have learned methods of measuring GDP, all the 3 methods, and all the 3 methods will be giving same answer. There is one sum, that sum you have to learn with example. Then coming to the last one, there is limitations of GDP as an index of welfare of economy, welfare of a country. So how the GDP is good, okay, or bad. If it is not good, then what are the limitations that you have to learn? Out of these 4, you will get 1 question for 6 marks. If you go to the next lesson, chapter 3 in macroeconomics, that is money and banking. In this, the marks distribution, if you take up, we have got 1 marks 2 questions, and 6 marks 1 questions, and 5 mark 1, that is practical oriented question, that is 13 marks together you will get from this lesson. If you take up the important one here, the functions of money, very easy, and even the functions of Reserve Bank of India, 4 marks you may get, that also is very easy. Then motives of demand for money and liquidity trap, okay? So just learn more about what motives of demand for money. And the 4th one is legal definitions of money, that is nothing but the supply of money, how it is defined. We have got M1, M2, M3, M4, no, so those you will learn. So then go next, if you go to the 6 marks questions, now here there are 3. See, functions of money you may expect either in 4 marks or in 6 marks. If you get in 6 marks, you have to learn about how the money is helpful in solving the problem of barter system. So 1 para, you write this one like a function, what actually it is performing, and related to that, how that function is solving the problem of barter system. Then we have got the Goldsmith story, Lala's story in the process of credit creation. It's also very easy, and you have to learn that. Then open market operation. Dear students, if you feel it is difficult, you just leave and 1 month 2 marks questions definitely you have to learn. Then if you go to the next one, that is chapter 4. In that chapter 4, of course, it is, I think you know already that it is a little bit confusing. More of equations, more of diagrams will come. But what I suggest, selected topics, if you learn, no, they are very easy and you can easily write. See here, you will get 1 mark 2 questions, 2 marks 2 questions, and 4 marks 1 question. Together you will get for how many? 10 marks. The important topics in this chapter, we have got AD, aggregate demand function. So, and consumption function, investment function. See, the last two, if you learn, the first one is ready. It will be prepared automatically. So 4 marks question, you can prepare out of, okay, these 3, right? So you may get at least one you will get, right, for 4 marks. Then if you go to the 6 marks question, so in the 6 marks question, we have got effect of autonomous change in aggregate demand on income and profit. So the curve, the graph is a little bit confusing, but depth study is required. If you feel it is, you are able to understand, then no problem. Otherwise, just leave it off. Paradox of thrift, go through, right? And the third one, supply side of macroeconomic equilibrium. So what I suggest, so just glance all this, right? So you may not get much, okay, important from this, right? Then let us go to the next chapter, that is chapter 5. In chapter 5, it is totally about the government budget. Dear students, you learn this. Learning is required because it's not only useful for your coming up examinations, other examinations also it's helpful. Everybody should know the government, how it is prepared, presented like that. We have got, see, questions like distribution 1, 2 marks questions, sorry, 2 1 mark questions will come, and 2 marks question 1 will come, and 6 marks 1 will come, together 10 marks. Of course, less weightage is given, but still you have to learn. But the important topics, these, we have got chart of government budget, very easy, and the difference between revenue and capital expenses or expenditure of the government, revenue deficit and fiscal deficit, you have to understand. Then public debt, is it a burden, right? That also you have to learn. Recording equivalence, if you try to understand, okay, otherwise leave it off. But these are very important topics. Next up, if you go to the 6 marks questions, here, we have got classification of receipts, right? And also we have got classification of expenditure, right? And the fiscal deficits give how does the borrowing requirements of the government. Issue of deficit reduction, it is reduction, right? Changes in taxes with diagram. So these 6 marks questions, you go through all, right? So you may get any one out of this. Then if you take up the next question, the next chapter 6. In chapter 6, we have got of course, there is one this is practical oriented question, preparation of budget, right? But it's not that much important. You can leave it off, right? Or even if you glance it, no, nothing wrong. Then coming to the macroeconomics part, that is the macroeconomics last lesson. Here we have got the open economy. In this open economy, of course, again, more marks are, of course, given. Like 1 mark 3 questions will come, 2 marks 2 questions will come, 4 marks 1 question will come, and 5 marks practical oriented question. You will get 6 marks 1 question altogether. You will get what? The 22 marks from chapter 6 of macro. Then if you take up the chapter wise important topics, we have got the balance of trade. Right? The balance of trade important. You have to learn this, and the components of current and capital account of balance of payments, and you should also learn about the merits and demerits of flexible and fixed exchange rate systems. So you will get any one out of these 3. Then if you go to the 6 marks questions, so if you get in 6 marks questions, dear students, only 3 are there. So you will get 100% one, maybe balance of payment, structure you have to write, then the types you have to write there. Okay, then we have got the foreign exchange market, there is fixed exchange rate with the diagram you have to explain. And the last one is the third one, that is gold standard. The gold standard, of course, it's just a theoretical one, and it's very easy to understand. So these are the 3 questions. You will get any one from these 3. Then if you go all together to the next one, that is the project related or assignment related questions. Dear students, now they have increased the number of choice, as I said earlier, right? So we have got the 6 project oriented questions. You will get 4, right? You may get 2 from the macro and 2 from micro. And out of these 6, that is 2 from micro, 2 from macro, prepare easily. You will get, of course, you are writing how many? Only 2. Out of 4, you are writing 2. Very easy to prepare. Then if you go to the next part, that is the distribution, how the question paper pattern, the students try to understand this one. Okay, we have got the choose, that is choose the correct answer. The first main part A, first main, we have got, that is 5 questions will be there, no choice in this, all the 5 with options you are writing. And second main, we have got fill in the blanks, that is 8 questions will be there, you are writing only 5 for 5 marks, and the match the following, no choice, of course all the 5 you have to attempt. And very short answer questions, 8 will be asked, out of which you are writing 5, and together you will get for how many marks in part A? It is 20 marks. Then if you go to the part B, right, CBE here, so it is, of course, as I said earlier, it is purely for this academic year April 22 exam. Short answer questions 2 marks, out of 14 you are answering 9, right? You are getting 5 extra questions, together 18 marks. Then essay type questions 12 will be asked, out of 12 you are writing 7 questions, again you will be getting 5 extra here, that is 4 marks questions, essay type questions. Part D, long answer questions, we have got, that is you will get 8 questions, right? Out of 8 you are answering 4, 6 marks questions there, then that is 24 marks. And assignment last main part E questions, out of 4 you are answering 2, that is together 10. That is how the question paper pattern, of course as usual it is done, but nowadays now this year, you know, they have increased the number of what, the questions, the choice, they have increased, right? So of course whatever I have given right now from the beginning, 2 videos we have done in that microeconomics and macroeconomics, right? So these are 2 only for this academic year, dear students. It is done only for you. You can score very, very well this time. You can score, many of you can definitely attempt for 100 out of 100 marks. I hope you will get the benefit from these 2 videos, and I wish you all the best, right? Thank you very much.